Hey, this is Tom Calvin. Thanks for tuning in to Tomorrow's Legends.
In 2016, a new TV show hit the digital airwaves and needed a podcast dedicated to chronicling its adventures. An elite team has been assembled for this task. Unfortunately, the world's listeners have not heard of this wonder twin duo. And although they may not be known now, in the future they will be referred to as Tomorrow's Legends.
Whoa, hey, what's going on in here?
Hey, where have you been? It's about time you got here. Like, oh my God, we're totally partying like it's 1999.
What? This isn't a party ship, it's a time ship. All right, everyone, time to shut it down. Everyone out.
Aw, come on, Flash, that was such a downer.
That's it. Out. We got a mission to do.
Aw.
No way.
Bummer.
Sucks, dude.
You're the worst.
Oh, man, come on.
Come on, dude. Aw.
And now, here are your hosts, the Scarlet Speedster himself, the Flash, and the Maid of Mischief, Harley Quinn.
Hello, Legendaires. Welcome back to Tomorrow's Legends. We are here to cover Season 5, Episode 12, Freaks and Greeks. I am the Party Pooper Flash.
And I'm ready to party. Harley Quinn.
Hello, Legends.
Gideon, I think, what are you doing, Gideon? Why are you letting this happen on your ship? You should be in charge when these things get out of control like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. She's obviously on your side.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say, because she's awesome.
Yes. All right. Well, welcome back to the show, everybody. We actually have a little bit of news to get into today. Like, there's been a few things being released, and it's not even the end of the season yet.
Hey.
It's all for next year. But what do you got for us?
All right. So first thing I've got is that our finale is officially on June 2nd. So we are straight through to June 2nd, y'all. That will be our last episode. But the good news is from here on out, you've got Legends for what? The next 4 weeks?
I think
3 weeks?
3 more. It's 15 episodes, right? So
yes, it's 15 episodes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so we got 13, 14, and 15 to do. Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, something else we wanted to throw in here, we did a little research behind the scenes. Just out of curiosity, we like to check our numbers once in a while. And just found out something about what our biggest episode was so far. And I thought this was kind of funny if you think about which episode it was. But what do you find there?
It is pretty funny if you think about what episode it is, and maybe that's why. But the biggest episode ever in our history was Season 4, Episode 8, Legends of Meow Meow. It was the mid-season finale of Season 4. If you don't remember it, it was the Sirens of Space-Time, Puppets of Tomorrow, and Keepers, what were they? Custodians of the Chronology.
Okay.
I think. It was that crazy out-of-the-box episode. It was wacky, and man, everybody loved it. And so everybody tuned in to us, which is amazing. It is by far our most popular episode.
Yeah, by like a couple hundred more downloads than the rest of the episodes, which is crazy.
Yeah. So someone grabbed it, someone got a hold of it, and someone liked it, which is very cool. I wish we could get back to that, but, maybe we will.
Maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe not with this one tonight.
Not with this one tonight. I do agree.
But like we said, there is some Season 6 news that we're going to let you guys in on. And this was posted on our Facebook page. And so if you guys hadn't checked it out, we just pulled a couple points from it. The first one being John Constantine will be back next season, despite this season being all about his story ending with Astra. So he's obviously sticking around to provide his magical powers that be, and that's pretty good. I'm glad.
I'm glad too. I've really come to love him, and as long as I can have Matt Ryan on my screen as John Constantine, then I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Now the fun little tidbit here, and this might maybe be a bit, I don't know if this is spoilerish, but there's kind of been a synopsis for next season, and this is what they said. One of the legends is going to get abducted by aliens. And the team has to recruit a new member who was previously abducted by aliens and supposedly imbued with superpowers by said aliens to help them rescue this teammate. That's the synopsis, the plot line for the season. So I'm wondering if they're kidnapping somebody, does that mean that person's gone for the entire episode? We're not even going to see them?
For the entire episode or for the entire season?
Sorry, the entire season. Or do you think we would see a lot of scenes with the aliens and what they're doing to our Legends member? That's what I would guess.
I don't know. It probably depends on who it is and what they've worked out contract-wise. Because I could see them, quote, kidnapping someone and just kind of shooing them off screen like they've kind of done with some of the other characters that have like fallen a little flat. Like Mona's character, they kind of scooted off screen really until, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes into the season. They'd kind of done the same with Charlie. They had kind of shoved her into the background for a little bit. So I don't know. I can kind of see them like sidelining someone for a few episodes, like 3 or 4 maybe at the most, until they all come back in. I don't know. It'll just have to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Y'all know I don't love aliens, so I'm really curious to see how they're gonna handle this. So I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic as always because it's our show, but I don't know. We'll see.
And it's funny because this is where we do differ a little bit, because I love the alien stuff. I loved when we had the Dominators in our big crossover, and just the whole idea of there is other beings out there in this universe that might be more powerful than even our superpowered heroes. So how do they deal with that? It's something off world that they don't know. How do you deal with it? And I think it could be good potential. Whether I don't think it's going to be the Dominators again, because they would have stated the Dominators, I would think.
That's maybe, unless they decided it was too spoilery. I hope it's not the Dominators. I could get behind it being some other type of alien race. I mean, I don't dislike the ideas of aliens in general. Like, I mean, I love Star Wars, like Star Trek, all of that sort of stuff, which all revolves around alien races. But the way that they do it, I feel like is a bit different. Everybody seems to be like integrated, you know what I mean? As opposed to like when they introduce aliens into superhero shows, they always tend to be like menacing and monstrous and Dominator like. I don't know. So we'll see how they do it.
Well, I'm imagining it might be one of the alien species that we've seen on Supergirl, maybe.
Okay.
Because there's tons. I mean, the aliens are just part of that show. And they're all residing here on Earth, so...
Good point. And now everyone's on Earth Prime, so that's like a real thing.
Could be.
I keep forgetting about.
Could be. Now, my next question for you, like it's good we have some speculation to talk about here.
Yeah.
If an alien or a group of aliens is abducting someone from our team, couple questions here. Which member do you think is going to get abducted? Why would the aliens be abducting them? To what purpose? To what end would they need one of our members of the team?
I feel like they would want someone from our team for their time travel knowledge. Now, okay, so they could go at this from a couple different angles.
Okay, well, let me add one little thing here just to help your thought process.
Okay.
The article did state about the person that gets abducted makes this a very personal mission for somebody. So that almost leads me to think Ava or Sarah right away, because it obviously interferes with the relationship, but...
True. I was thinking Sarah right off the bat because 1, she's the captain, and 2, she knows she's one of the longest standing team members, and she knows the most about the Wave Rider, about time travel, about all of that sort of stuff. So I could see Sarah. I also could see Zari, just because I feel like aliens might think she's easy prey, even though she's not. But that could make it more personal for either Nate or John Constantine, depending on where they take this little triangle.
Yeah.
Go Deltas. Sorry.
I think I like your first idea better as someone that might have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Unless it's a superpower that they're interested in, maybe it's Nate because he turns to steel.
I feel like that wouldn't be personal for anybody, though.
Yeah, you're right. See, that's the one line that kind of throws a wrench into figuring out. That's why I think it's Ava or Sarah.
Yeah,
the first two.
Yeah, I could see Ava for the same reason. She has lots of time travel knowledge, and it would make it personal for Sarah without us losing the captain. Although they've clearly established that she's the de facto captain when Sarah's not around.
Yeah. What if it's Ava because she's a clone and they want to find out about cloning technology?
That would be interesting. I would actually kind of be on board with that, because then that would bring back that whole storyline, even though she seems to hate it. But
now the next part is they recruit a new team member that's been abducted before, who was apparently given superpowers by this alien race to help them rescue them. So I'm trying to think, what DC heroes do we know? Is this going to be a hero that's already established, or is the TV show making a new one up? So I'm trying to think, of all the DC characters, which ones were given powers to them by an alien race? I'd have to do a little research on that.
I don't know. I would assume it's someone new to our show, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a made-up character. I mean, they do heavily pull on the comics, so they might just be pulling someone from the comics and taking a different twist on it, like they tend to do. But I definitely think it's going to be someone new to the show. It's not going to be a known actor or a known entity from another show that's just coming over to Legends.
Right. Huh. Interesting. It'd be so funny if it was the Hawk people and...
No, it would not. Do not say that. Do not put that out there. No.
The Thanagarians.
No. Writers, if you are listening, no more Hawk people.
Well, I wonder
or if you do
that's...
them better.
I wonder if that's hidden in the writing. It could be one of the Green Lanterns, because they've been talking about a Green Lantern making their appearance.
That would be cool. I would be very on board with that.
Yeah.
What if it's David Ramsey?
Ooh, can you imagine that?
Oh my God, that would be amazing if it was John Diggle.
Would recruit a new member, and John Diggle comes back, and he's now become John Stewart, the Green Lantern.
Yes.
Oh, that could be amazing. That'd be awesome. Our show could be the launching pad.
They gave
backdoor
the tease.
pilot. They did. Wow, can you imagine that? Ooh.
I am imagining it right now, and it's pretty awesome. So let's find a way to make it happen.
That's pretty cool.
The
only
thing I'm worried about is that HBO is doing a Green Lantern series. Are they not?
Yeah, that might be where it is. So could not. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily there, but the property is there, which is the problem in my eyes.
Hard to say. Well, we got some ideas, so
we do. Okay.
That's cool. Anyway, that's cool. That's good news. So now one little bit, of course, we're going to end with a tiny bit of bad news, something about our viewership numbers. You've been tracking this last few weeks.
I have been tracking. We fell back down again to 0.66 million. So our season and all-time low has been 0.65 million. So we'll just have to see. Our all-time high was 0.77 as a reminder. So we'll see if we can get back up there before the end. I don't know. I'm not going to lie, I was also curious. So I was taking a look at the Flash's ratings, and they're doing a little bit better than us, but not by much. They're only slightly over 1 million. They have
then that was the number one show on the network for a while, was The Flash. Like, it was the highest rated.
It was, yeah. They have fallen steadily as well. I don't know if it's superhero fatigue or if people are just over the shows. Or
I think it's a little bit of everything. I mean, you look at all of our shows, their writing has really plummeted on all of them. Flash is not that good this season. It's really struggling the last couple seasons to come up with anything that's just gripping. And, the way the first 3 seasons were, it's really lost its touch. Yeah. And,
True.
you know what we're thinking. I mean, especially after tonight's episode of Legends, we're going to get into it, but something's up. These shows are struggling, and I don't think it's a good idea to start new ones. Like, they got that Stargirl starting soon, and that one, the trailer of that one just looks awful. I don't even want to try it, but
yeah, the trailer doesn't look great.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I think CW stretched themselves too thin, maybe, and they're not focusing heavily on making a couple shows really good. They're trying to keep the superhero pool spread pretty wide, and I don't think that's the right plan.
I don't know. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this episode. Can you tell I was trying to avoid starting it right away?
Yes, I can.
How much can we talk before we get to the episode? But let's get into it. We'll talk about it. We'll see if we can get some good stuff out of it.
Sounds good.
All right. Kick us off.
So I'm going to start with my rating. I gave this episode 7.0. I played a much different version of beer pong in college. So, episode, super cheesy, not a lot of substance. Look, it was fun. It took me back to my college days, I'm not going to lie. But it was just a little too stereotypical frat boy, sorority girl. They just really leaned into that. And look, I don't know what a college campus looks like in 2020. If it really looks anything like this, it doesn't look any different than it did when I was in college. And I'm not going to tell you when I was in college because I don't want to date myself. But anyways, I appreciate where they were trying to go with the whole story. I thought the Dionysus angle was clever. I really actually kind of liked that angle. Everything turned out to be super cheesy, but it made sense for him to be basically an overgrown frat boy. Like, I kind of got it. But the whole telling of it it all just kind of fell a little flat. It wasn't a bad episode. It just really wasn't my favorite. I don't know. So if I didn't really love it, and I know you don't like this type of stuff, so Flash, how did you feel about it?
It's only getting a 6 for me, and a 6, I'm being generous like a frat keg party.
Oh dear.
I don't know, guys. I'm gonna do my best to get through this one with as much light intention as I can. But for me, I don't know how I can be positive about an episode that was full of all the things that I hate in life: loud parties, obnoxious drunks, and idiot, like, oh my god type talking. Ugh, that stuff, it just drives me all crazy. You're right, Harley. This one was as empty as the freshly chugged chalice. Just not funny to me, not entertaining. Another waste of an episode as we're getting to the end of our season, and I'm sorely disappointed about that. We got 3 episodes left, and they haven't filled us with anything worth worrying about or being excited about right now. They're not building anything up. So we're going to talk about this episode, but I'm actually looking forward to our feedbackers because I'm pretty sure they're going to do their usual thing and bring in some positive points that I've obviously missed because I was so frustrated with this one. The one point that I do want to make is I would love to hear from our lady feedbackers if they went crazy over Mr. Dionysus or not, because this one was all for them. Really. Come on. The girl frat house, the hot hunky guy with his clothes off all the time. Yeah, this one was for you guys.
It was definitely a girls' episode, I would say. I enjoyed the actor as well. It's very easy on the eyes. Yeah. Yep. Girls' episode, 100%. Probably why I liked it a little bit more.
I bet you. Yeah, that him alone probably gave you a few points to be perky about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. For sure. Yep.
All right. Well, let's get into it. What kind of talking points did you find for us?
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize in advance. My notes are terrible. Like they were terrible. I really did enjoy the episode, but taking notes on this was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. So, all right, we're going to start with the main storyline, right? The Cup of Dionysus. This was the whole point of the episode. It's the entire storyline. The team has to win a chalice so they can become immortal for a day. And they can use the loom because apparently, unless you're immortal, you cannot use the loom. Got it. Apparently. And Charlie's no longer immortal, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, when you step back and look at it, it's a rather quick and easy solution of a plot twist. Since we're running out of time this season, it seems like such a quick, easy way to use the loom when I was expecting so much more of a good plot story is how are they going to defeat 3 gods and get the loom and fix everything. So this was kind of, I don't know. I like the dig into Greek mythology and the history to bring all of this to light because I love that stuff. That stuff fascinates me. Mm-hmm. I did a whole hour-and-a-half conversation on Cybercast about Greek mythology. But to simplify all of it to a modern-day college party, to me, is such a cop-out, budget-wise especially. Like, they could have done so much more with it, but to just throw it in a college house, this episode probably cost them next to nothing to make, so.
Which I'm hoping, by that comment, I am hoping that it means that the next 3 episodes are going to be heavy on effects because it's got to feature at some point the loom. The little bit we've already seen of the loom is extremely effects heavy, which means it's extremely expensive, and it looked good. So I am totally down with seeing more of that. We know, this is sort of jumping to the end, and I promise we'll talk about it more, but we know that Astra is going to throw a wrench in the gears. She has to, because Lachesis has come calling. So we'll talk about that more and get into some theories about what that could mean. But like, I'm hoping the loom, I have such high hopes for the last like 3 episodes. And I hope I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I feel like there's just a lot we can do with it and it can be really cool. So we know that they're going to try to use the loom again, and something's going to have to go wrong again. So does that, or maybe it doesn't, I don't know. If it doesn't go wrong, then what do we do with the next 2 episodes? I guess deal with the fallout, rewrite the world. Yet again, we just got through Crisis. So I have kind of mixed emotions on this. Or do we fail, which would be the second time? So then we have to figure out yet another solution in 2 episodes for the loom? That seems aggressive. What do you think?
because you're right. This is the second try. They attempted with just Charlie running it. They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We got that fantastic visual effects for the sequence for that. Now this is their second attempt. But the thing is, like, this kind of leads into it. The way the episode ends, they all drink from the cup. They all get immortality for a day. We see them all glow yellow. And then nothing happens. We don't. So is the next episode going to be about them being immortal for a day, and we get to see what they do? Or did it just end and we just expect that, they used the loom? Like, next episode is going to kick off like, hey, we used it. It's done. Mission solved. 2 episodes left. I don't know.
That.
I guess we'll come back around to this again because we were talking about the end of this episode already. But yeah, I'm just left thinking, well, okay, you all became immortal. Now what?
Yeah. Okay. Let's, I hate to do this, but let's table a discussion for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know we've got more points. It's going to come back. So let's get rid of some of the more like cheesy, let's just get through a bit stuff. And then we can kind of come back to the theorizing at the end, because I think we can get into a pretty good discussion about it. So
Sure.
Let's go back to another interesting plot point. So basically the girl legends get to start a sorority, which I thought was kind of fun. And in typical Legends fashion, of course, they get all the, quote, freaks to pledge their sorority. So I thought that was kind of funny. I enjoyed that aspect.
It did. It reminded me of movies like Mean Girls or Animal House or Revenge of the Nerds, all those college-based comedies. I don't know if I just dated myself. If anyone remembers Revenge of the Nerds or
Yes.
Animal House, those are 80s comedies. So
They're classic.
but yeah, this whole setup just reminded me of that. And, and it could have been fun. Some of them were fun back in the day, but I just think this one rehashed a lot of jokes and stuff that we've already seen before. And
Yes.
I said, this type of humor, this people being drunk and obnoxious just isn't funny to me. And I don't go to parties like that. I don't enjoy that atmosphere anymore. So it's not entertaining to me. I don't need to see 42 minutes of people going, yo, dude, how drunk did you get last night? Oh, it's just not for me.
Well, it kind of took me back to college a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we were saying off camera here, off mic before. Yeah, I mean, that this was high school for me. I partied like that in high school, but I grew up after I turned 20, and that was it. Didn't need to do this stuff anymore.
Yeah. Well, college is fun. Anyways, so
Yeah.
let's talk about the 3 candidates a little bit. So these girls, which we didn't see much of, but I thought it was pretty funny. So I thought it was at least worth calling out. So the first girl, Inez, she was voted out of the pep squad for being too enthusiastic. What? And then Lisa was this like viral video girl that went viral for like literally the worst possible reason ever. And that was...
She snorted while she was talking or something?
Yes, they said she snarted. And then they did not want to explain to Zari what that was. So...
Not my Lisa, by the way.
No. Different person. So that was kind of funny. And then the last girl was Sylvia, and she was the performing arts girl, and she kind of ends up bonding with Astra, which I actually really liked throughout this episode. So those were kind of our 3, quote, sorority rejects that the Legends adopted, for lack of a better term.
Right.
So...
Which part did you like the bonding between Sylvia and Astra, or you enjoyed Astra this episode?
Both, actually.
Really? This one made me, I despise Astra even more. I could not stand her attitude this episode at all. I'm done with her. Get her off the show, please. I am so done with her. The character they're painting her to be. I don't care if she gets redeemed. I don't want to know. don't want to see it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I do think she kind of has, I mean, maybe not redeemed. I don't think that's quite the right word, but to me, and what kind of like why I liked her character throughout the episode, because I don't think I have any specific notes on it, is that she's still that lost little girl. She's still trying to figure out how to fit in. She doesn't have anyone. You know, when she was 12 or 10 or however old she was banished to hell. She was taken in and manipulated and poisoned by a fate who's just been manipulating her entire life. And, you know, she joins the Legends, our merry band of misfits and outcasts. It's the perfect place for her. And so she's trying to figure it out, but she just doesn't trust anybody. And so I don't know. I kind of enjoyed where her character went this episode, and that she ended up bonding with this girl and kind of seeing herself in her. I liked that.
Okay.
No, that was just me. That was why I liked it.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So this is the plot point that I actually completely hated, where Dion brainwashes Nate and Nick goes full frat boy. Hated it.
Yeah, I mean, Nate Zano's performance was enjoyable, although he's portraying exactly what I already described as the most annoying type of person to me. I can't stand people like that. But he personified it as if they pulled him right out of a frat house to play the part. So, yeah, I mean, Nate Zano did a great job, but really, if you really think about it, is it that hard to act like a stupid college drunk? No, it's not. It's the same reason why I'm so upset that Nicolas Cage won the Oscar so many years ago for playing a drunk person on, I can't remember what that movie was with him and Elizabeth Shue, I think it was. He was just drunk the entire movie. He was trying to kill himself drinking. And he won the Oscar for it when there was like 4 other actors that were far better in their roles, and they lost out to a guy pretending to be drunk. Anyway, Nick Zano, I enjoyed him. He was funny. But when you say brainwashing, I think there was something in the special brew that Dion created, and when Nate drank it, it's what Dion uses to keep everyone in line and keep everyone worshiping him. Is they make him drink this brew, and they all think he's, you know, the greatest thing on earth.
100%.
Yeah. So and it worked. Like within seconds, it worked. So.
It did, yeah. Because even Charlie says that she notices it automatically. She's like, "Oh, Nate's been swayed." He's like, "Shotgun Nate." I was like, "Oh my god! If I hear that one more time, I'm gonna kill someone."
Yeah, Shotgun Nate.
Yeah, it did not.
See the humor.
I didn't enjoy like the super frat boy stuff. I didn't care for that much. But I don't know. Anyways,
makes you wonder how any of them get out of college at all with any marks.
It makes me wonder how I got out of college with any marks. Anyways, do quite well in college, I will say that. Everybody needs an outlet. Come on. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. So, we all know that the Legends girls created a sorority, the Deltas. Did you notice that the Delta motto in the entire video is actually a spoof on one of our original Legends intros?
I did not. So walk us through that. I saw that in the notes, and I was I can't piece it together. So walk us through it.
I was, for the life of me, I spent like 20 minutes trying to look up the words of the intro, and I probably just need to pull up an episode like of anything from season 4. But you know, I say, "We're the Legends, we screw up time for the better," or something like that. It was like, "We're the Deltas, we blah, 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 blah." And just the way that they did it, the whole thing was just a complete spoof and redo of like the Legends intros that we used to get. But like the more recent ones, not like Rip Hunter's original ones. It was like, the ones from like season 4, pretty much. Where they're like, "We're the Legends, we screw up time for the better," you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they do their like little spiel, and it would kind of change episode to episode. It was a total spoof on that. And so I thought that was pretty funny.
Right.
Also, I thought it was horribly amusing that, you know, Zari's like leading the social media viral video thing where they're trying to like post it up there so they can get recognition and pledges and all that.
She is the queen of it. So yeah, she should know.
I know, right? Made total sense. But
now,
I thought that was worth calling out.
the one thing that I do appreciate here, I guess I could take it back a little bit. This wasn't all for just the ladies, because when they were setting up for their party, our ladies, Legends ladies, looked amazing when they were getting ready for their party. So I give them props to that, because that was definitely, wow moments.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, how is it that everyone around them is just accepting them as college age and that they're just the same as them? Because there was a clear difference between them being adults and the kids being college age, and yet they seem to all have just fit in. Everyone just believed they're also students.
Did they though? Because I thought Sarah made it clear that they were trying to say that they were like legacies. They're like, oh, well, when we were in college, that kind of thing.
Okay. I don't know. I missed if they explained anything away. I didn't catch it, but
I don't know that they necessarily explained it away very well, but I thought one of her lines sort of framed it as, hey, we're not in college right now, but I guess that wouldn't make sense though, because they would have to be in college in order to be in the sorority or to be founding the sorority, right? Yeah.
Yep. And then with Astra and Charlie trying to get into that one house, they were acting like students, but I mean, especially Astra, look at her. She looks like she's in her 40s easily. How the kids believe that she's a college, unless they're just like, oh, these people are cool. They're going back to college in their older days. Nice. Like maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I would say 30s, but I don't think they look like, I don't know that they could necessarily pass for 20-somethings anymore.
No. Hey, come on now. We all look younger. Look at me.
That's true.
We all look younger. We don't look like our parents anymore these days. That the 40 is the new 25 these days.
I mean, we don't think we do, but our kids, anyways.
Maybe. We'll see what your daughter says when she's about 12.
Oh, God, let's not.
All right.
All right, next point. So, this I had a specific comment about this. My rating was about beer pong. So Sarah plays beer pong to win the chalice, which is not surprising. Beer pong is like the game when you're, in college. Is what you always play at the fraternity houses. And I'm pretty sure I did a tournament or two at one point in time. Our version of beer pong didn't involve paddles. I'm not going to lie. I know there are some versions that do involve paddles, but that was not the version I'd ever played. We just threw the ping pong balls into the cups.
Yeah, I've never seen that before in my life, actually. You, as far as I know, you're supposed to bounce it once and then try to get into the cup after the first bounce. That's the way I see it. I've never seen it play with paddles.
See, you couldn't bounce it in art. You had to just throw it.
Well, Canadian rules versus American rules, I don't know.
There's all sorts of different rules. I'm pretty sure that Southern rules are different than Midwest rules are different than New England rules. I know there's versions of beer pong that use paddles. I've just personally never played them because I'm pretty sure I had this conversation with my older cousins once, and they live in Ohio and they played beer pong with paddles. And I was like, what are you talking about? You don't use paddles. And they're like, yes, you do. It's with a ping pong ball. And I'm like, that makes no sense. It kind of makes sense. But anyways.
Well, you have to imagine with paddles, especially when they start chugging beer, you have to be like Olympic champion ping pong player to hit that ball into a cup. That game would probably take forever. Who wants to play beer pong for 3 hours to watch somebody win? Come on.
I know. Not me.
But anyway, what I want to ask about this scene is, how does Sarah win exactly? She mentions her superpowers. But how does that affect the outcome of the game, really? I mean, what could she possibly have seen when they clasped hands? I don't understand that. You're playing a game of ping pong. Her seeing the future helps her how in a game of ping pong? I don't understand.
Because I think she saw I think we're supposed to believe that she saw the entire game, so she knew shot for shot what would happen. So she didn't have to see it, and then she was just using her League of Assassin abilities to hear and intuit, where everything was situationally. And then
they haven't explained her powers yet, so it doesn't make sense. And then the other thing I noticed when I was going through and editing our sound clips out, I looked at that scene again. That game of beer pong was 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of airtime in our TV show for a game of beer pong. 2 minutes and 30 seconds? I couldn't believe how long that went on for. You know how much story they can tell in that amount of time? That's crazy. They devoted that much to a game of beer pong.
Well, they didn't have a lot of story in this episode.
Yep. You said it.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, they didn't. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, but there wasn't a lot going on. Just not a lot you can do to win the cup of Dionysus, I guess. I mean, you got to fill 42 minutes somehow.
Yes. Well, one point here, I think I mentioned this before, is that Charlie's always gets the cheesiest lines.
Does she?
She's the one that I've mentioned it before. She's the one that says, "Let's get this party started," or beer pong begin, and whatever. It's like she gets all these lines where the camera's focused on her and she just has to make some type of announcement. It seems like, and it's been done over and over and over again. Kind of funny. Something that I did find funny here was when Zari interrupts the party when she's hacking in to Dion's accounts, and she hacks into the music and she interrupts the music to play whatever that weird music was that she inserted, and everyone's like, "What the?" This is another dating me thing here, and I don't know if you're going to know what I'm talking about, but the music that came on reminded me of that game on The Price is Right, when the little mountain climber is going up the mountain and the contestant has to say stop before he falls off. It's the exact same song. I swear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just played yodeling, right? Isn't that what
it was some type of Swedish yodeling, and that's exactly what they played during that Price is Right game. So that I laughed at, for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Oh, dear. Okay. So we're sort of getting back to this. Team Legends become immortal. So this was the whole point. They had to win the beer pong to get the chalice. And so they get the chalice, right? And they all drink from it, except Zari, who I couldn't tell if it's because she doesn't drink or if it was because it's supposed to be Ramadan. Either way, she doesn't partake.
She said something about her beliefs. She had a quick little line in there about.
Yeah, and she
beliefs,
stated before that she doesn't drink. Like, like she said something to Barad. She's like, "We don't drink," but it kills me because he smokes weed. Is that not the same thing?
Yeah.
Or does the Quran only strictly forbid alcohol?
I think she follows it and he doesn't.
But he doesn't. She said, "Oh yeah, I don't drink that stuff. What am I doing? Oh my god." Anyways, it was confusing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how weed doesn't come into that. But anyways.
Okay, so let's get back to this whole thing about becoming immortal. We were talking about that. Like,
yeah.
They better make next episode about them being immortal and what they're going to do with that power. Whether it's put the loom together or whatever they're going to do. But I was left hanging with that. You're immortal for a day. Why would you not show us what they're about to do? I don't know. I mean, you light them all up. They all glow. And you think, okay, this is going to be cool. And no, the episode, it switches to Astra. And they end it with Astra instead. Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking, man, you're immortal for a day. Okay, they better concentrate on that next episode because I'm thinking to myself, what are they going to do? What would I do? What would you do if you're suddenly immortal for a day? I mean, you've got an entire day. What would you do?
Well, I don't know. If I were immortal? I don't know because I don't know what I would do. I have no idea. I've never honestly given it any thought. But in terms of the episode, I mean, the whole point of them becoming immortal was so they could use the loom. So they're going to have to do that at some point. Now, what else they do with their immortality, I don't know. We'll just have to see. Because we also know that with the whole ending with Astra, so let's just bring this all in. We're just going to bring Astra all in because she ends up she's outside. She talks to Lachesis, and we know that Lachesis owes her a favor. Or she owes Lachesis a favor, for John Constantine. So, we know, and this kind of what I didn't like about it is because it was so predictable. We knew that they're going to have to try to use loom a second time. We know that when that happens, Astra owes Lachesis a favor. It's only a matter of time before she calls it in. And now that she's figured out that she's working with the Legends, so she's betrayed them, or betrayed Lachesis and Atropos, it was so predictable to me. And I think that's another point that I just didn't really like. So
Yeah.
that's why I keep going back to, okay, so are they going to go into this next episode, try to do the loom? They're going to have to fail because Astra owes Lachesis some favor, which is obviously going to involve the loom, which means that they're all going to hate Astra again because they're going to say she's sabotaging everything, and it's just going to rehash all of that. And I just don't want that story. It's just too predictable. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. Is that bad?
No, because you sound like me. Now I'm no longer alone.
I know. I'm sorry. This got really ranty, but what do you think
Yeah.
about all of that?
No, I mean, it is totally predictable. That's all it is. It's predictable that this was going to happen right from when she said a few episodes ago. But what I'm asking is, what I'm curious about is, what could Lachesis possibly ask of a lowly, normal human that's back on the surface, back on the real world now again, no longer in hell? She doesn't have any ability. She wasn't given any power. She's just a human who uses conniving manipulation to get what she needs. But she's got no real power. I mean, and that's why part of what I don't like about her character is she's portraying like she's this badass, tough woman. And I'm going to, when her and Charlie are about to get in a fist fight, I'm like, really? Like, you're not imposing at all. There's no threat about you. You're just annoying. So I don't understand what Lachesis, a god, could possibly be asking of Astra to help her out. Like, what? The god can do whatever she wants, pretty much.
Yes and no. I mean,
to a point. So that's why I'm asking.
I mean, Astra is now immortal for 24 hours and has access
there's that point, yeah,
to the Loom of Fate. So
okay,
I think
so.
I don't think her quote calling in her favor is coincidence. It's obviously very strategic, albeit predictable. But yeah, she's doing it so that she gets what she wants out of the Loom of Fate. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say it's very predictable, because you know that Lachesis is saying to Astra, hey, I need XYZ, you owe me this, you have to do this. There's some sort of magical spiritual mumbo jumbo tied in so that Astra has to do her bidding. And it's going to involve the Loom of Fate, which means all of Team Legends is going to be like, you're just in it to sabotage us. You've been working with her the whole time. And she's going to be like, no, I wasn't, but I can't trust any of you because nobody trusts me. And she's all on her own. And it's just going to be this whole thing. That's why it's like, I think I literally wrote, typical drama will ensue. And I am not on board for that.
Yep. It's really weak work writing right now. It's, I got nothing more I can add to it. It's just, it's disappointing. It really is. It's a letdown to what we saw in that trailer. I have not seen anything of that. How exciting that trailer looked. I have not seen any of that come to life yet. Yeah,
I think that was all from like the last episode.
Okay,
well, as far as things are turning out, so.
And that's okay. I mean, if we get to that point where it's that exciting and that action-packed and back to our normal Legends type stuff, then I look forward to that. But right now, I'm tired of getting my hopes up and being let down every week with these episodes this season. So
yeah,
they better knock one out of the park, because season 6 will be the end of this show. It won't go on if their numbers cannot pick up with episodes and storylines like this. It's just lost its creativity. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that season 6 will be the last for sure, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's just on its way. It's going too far down. Not like, I don't know. It's just like in ratings and everything. So
yeah. I mean, we have our opinions and everything here on this show, but the ratings are not holding up. I mean, what show at 600,000 viewers a week gets kept on air when, it's a small network. You can keep using that as an excuse, but even small networks need at least a couple million viewers a week. When the big networks get 10 to 40 million, the smaller networks need to get 1 to 3 or 4 million, and we can't even hit half a million barely. So
yeah,
at least not
on our show. I mean, we don't know what other shows are doing. I guess I could look up the CW as a whole. It could be that they're looking at it, as a whole, and as a whole, they may be up. Who knows? But right now, Legends is kind of going down. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah. One last little funny point I want to throw in there that There was 3 moments that made me laugh. I talked about 2 of them. The third one was when the one girl brings in John's dog cane, saying that it was talking to her. John's like, "Oh, I'll take that." That made me laugh.
That was funny. That was very funny. That was the girl that Astra bonded with. She's like, "And you've had too much to drink. Let's get you out of here." That was
Yeah.
funny. That was her excuse to get outside so Lachesis could rein her in. But
All right, well, let's talk about the best part of the episode, which I think this was the stuff that I'm continually am enjoying from week to week, and it's talking about Mick being father to Lita.
I am also enjoying the storyline. It is going very well. So let's kind of touch on these points because there was a lot of good stuff here. I mean, the whole premise is that Mick and Lita are going to take a college tour of this prestigious university, I assume. And at some point, Mick just thinks Lita's embarrassed of him because she kind of like makes an excuse and says, "Oh, it's an art school," or whatever. And he's thinking that she's embarrassed about him, where really she's just embarrassed because she doesn't fit in, which I thought was a really interesting twist.
Yeah, he's still worried about not being the best dad for her when he's just what she really needs, because I'm getting a feeling that she doesn't fit in the way he never fit in.
Yeah.
And she's starting to see how much like him she really is. And she's also realizing that this is hard for him, that this is different for him, and he's struggling and he's uncomfortable and he's out of place. He's a fish out of water.
Yes.
And just like he would, she's enjoying that part of it, and she's making fun of him for it, and she's poking at him just little by little, having little jokes with him, and that's slowly building their bond with each other. And I think he's starting to realize that she's poking fun at him and getting a kick out of it, and he's starting to acknowledge, "Hey, I am getting through to her. Yeah, just be me," and that's what she needs.
Yeah, and I think that's hard because especially when you're the parent that your child is that much like alike, and because I'll see it in certain instances with my daughter where she's just very much like me, but then in other instances I'm like, "You are 100% your father." But those are the instances in which we have a harder time coping. So when she's being exactly like me and doing things exactly like me, it drives me bonkers. But when
Saying you can't stand yourself?
No, exactly. I can't. It's all the stuff I hate about myself. And then when the shoe's on the other foot, my husband's exactly the same way. Like the things that like drive him bonkers are, the exact same things that he does. I'm like, but this is you. This is textbook you. Like, this is what you do. And he's just like, "No, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, yeah, that's why she's driving you crazy. That's why it's getting under your skin. It's because it's you. It's like, it's the same thing with me when she does things that are straight from me. Like, it drives me bonkers. So
I can totally concur because it's so funny. I talk to Patty Spivot all the time. Every time she gets really frustrated with her daughter, I tell her she's acting just the way you do in these moments. So it's kind of funny that you're more upset about it.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. And it's the same thing with my parents, with me, like whenever I'm doing something that's exactly just like them, that's where we like butt heads, So anyways, it's
right.
kind of funny. But I do kind of agree that like, it's interesting to note that that's what she needs in a lot of ways. But I think that's the hardest thing for parents to see is that when your kid exhibits behaviors exactly like yours and they're not the greatest qualities, you want to squash it. You want to be like, "Don't do that. Don't be like that." But at the same time, they just need that like affirmation. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Now, another great scene in this was Mick going back in time to donate to the school. And when he comes back, there is now a Rory Hall on campus. OMG, that was a great moment for Mick. Rory Hall just works for me. I think that's perfect. It's awesome. And so much for changing the future, changing your own future. Obviously, this changes big things for him. Like,
right.
I don't know what he did. Like, he just made a big donation, and now they just nominate the name of one school after him. I don't know, but it's such a great scene. Such a great scene for them.
Oh, it was. It was hilarious. When they stand in front of the building and now it says Rory Hall, I was like, oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Yeah, he's like, for sure you're getting in now.
Oh yeah, for sure. So funny. Oh yeah, he's not doing a very good job of like not changing the future, I guess. I don't know. I guess because he's doing it in small ways, it's okay. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Well, I even like the moment when she's talking about how she'll never get into school. She can't even afford it. And he's like, well, I got you. I can do that. If you're okay with that. Well, yeah, you've got a room full of gold. So easily you can pay for her college tuition for the entire time she's there.
No kidding. Yeah. So hopefully she takes him up on the offer. But although maybe not though, because it sounds like she doesn't even want to really be there by the end of it. You know what I mean?
No.
She's like, these aren't my people. I don't fit in with these people.
Yeah.
I was like, then don't go there.
And he's going to relate to that because he didn't fit in with his school either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was cute. It was good. It was a good storyline. It was a good bonding moment. I liked it.
Best stuff of the episode. Of the last 3 weeks, actually, it's been Mick and Lita.
Yeah, it has been really good. I will say honorable mention to the scenes with Nate and Lita when they were kind of like working together. I thought that was kind of really cute. I just sort of liked how she was kind of able to like latch onto him and they had kind of like the buddy thing going. I liked it.
Yeah, no, they did good. It was fun when they're trying to get the chalice and try to figure it out. And and she tells him to infiltrate the frat party, which ends up to be his complete downfall. But she does get to do some recon, which I enjoyed. I thought that was cool. Yep, she's going to be a member of the team unless they write her out by the end of the season. I don't know.
It'd be cool if she joined the Legends. I'd be okay with that. I like the actress a lot.
Oh, what if she's the one that's kidnapped, making it personal for someone on the team?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that would be good.
There's a new storyline for Mick. She gets kidnapped because she's young.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, and it becomes
returns.
That could be a fantastic segue for Mick because now he's got to rescue his daughter.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go. That's it. My money's on that.
It's a good idea. I like that. That's good.
Yep.
That's a good thought.
Yep.
Okay. I think that kind of brings us to the end of our discussion. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nope. Our show is rather quick and light this time because that's what the episode was. So there's not a lot to really, really get into. Let's move on to our quotes of the week.
All right. Sounds good.
Shape out an eagle!
All right. Funny quotes from last week. The winner was...
Blind Revelations.
What are you not telling me?
What are you not telling me? There's a kid on the ship? And a dog? Ava.
Gary has an emotional support animal. He had a signed letter.
That's not a thing.
I don't know, baby. Come here.
Does make me laugh still. That's not a thing.
Too funny. All right. What'd you come up with out of this episode?
All right. The first one is called Narco Ava.
If you want kids to think you're cool, I wouldn't wear that. They're gonna think you look like a narc.
Whoa, back to original funny quotes. Just a moment.
Short and sweet. Ava's reaction made me laugh. Yeah. I debated picking like the entire scene, but not all of it super funny. So I just went with the punchline.
Right.
Yeah.
Now this next one we didn't talk about it yet because I wanted to save it for this. This to me was one of the most laugh out moments of the season. It was the best moment of this episode, but I burst out laughing. I actually had to pause it and replay it twice because I was laughing so hard I missed the next couple seconds after it. This did crack me up. This was honest to goodness hilarity, this scene.
That's funny. All right, we're going to call this Butt of Steel.
I'm telling you I can take it. Dude, it's 2020. We don't do that anymore. Dad, just do it.
Yeah.
It's like his ass is made of steel. Because it is.
There's so much to even pull apart on this scene because we didn't know that he could singly steel up certain parts of his body.
That's a good point.
The whole thing at once. And the fact that he just steals up his ass is hilarious. The fact that the paddle obliterates when they smack him with it. It just shatters into pieces. And the frat boy's reaction, the whole scene, that like situational, that cracks me up so much.
It was
I love it. And just Nate's like, Yeah, because he's so proud of his steel butt.
Oh, Nate.
I love it. That was good. That single-handedly gave it 6 points.
Nice. All right. You ready for your serious scenes?
Yeah, the winner from last week was How to Train Your Father.
You're my kid, my responsibility, and I only want what's best for you. I was a little harsh before, and
It's okay, you saved my life.
there's no excuse. Let me explain. The life of a criminal is a life of misery. I've spent years in jail thanks to some red leather freak so fast that I couldn't...
It's okay, it's okay. I get it. You just don't want me to suffer in the ways that you have.
Should I stop reading?
We have a common interest, and I thought we could bond over it. But I understand why we shouldn't.
Right. I'll take you home.
Why? I thought we were spending the weekend together.
You want to stay?
Yeah. Today wasn't so bad. Dad?
Roller derby tomorrow.
No, absolutely not.
The mall.
Definitely no.
It's funny that it's a Mick scene that wins because my two serious moments are both Mick scenes here because that's all I could find in this episode.
That's not surprising.
So my first one I am calling, what am I calling it? I'm calling it Rory House.
Hey, got your text.
Hey,
Where were you?
trying to get you into this place. What do you think?
What? Dad, how did you do this?
Went back in time. Donated. You're as good as it.
Thank you, but I didn't really need a building. Just needed you here.
Well, I thought you were embarrassed to be with me. I don't belong with these people. They want to ruin your chances.
I'm sorry, it wasn't about you. I was just ashamed of me.
What are you talking about? Don't be stupid. You're great.
Yeah, but I don't belong with them either. I mean, the only reason that I survived high school was because I was imagining that one day I would get out and find my people. They're never going to take me as one of them. I don't really want to be.
You don't have to impress these idiots, these leeches. You're twice the person that ever be.
Yeah, but so are you. I mean, you fought a demon dog. And these people think that they're better than us because they have whales on their shorts? What do you say we find a way to piss off some rich kids?
I like the sound of that.
Funny and serious. It's just, it's such a good scene. I mean, Mick going back in time to donate and get a building in his name, that's the funny part. But then the moment with him and Lita, they're both expressing that they don't fit in with these people, and they're both realizing, oh, we're the same. Like they're getting to bond over that. And yeah. I just love it. I love it for them and what's developing with them. They're alike. And it's
funny. I love the bit about they think they're better than us because they have whales on their shorts. Just makes me laugh.
She even talks like him, which is so funny.
I know.
She's got the same type of mentality. So
it's great.
Anyway, now my next one is almost as short as yours. It's just a quick little quip, but it's called Winning.
Got your cup.
Best father-daughter weekend ever.
Now, winning, I called it winning because, yes, they won the cup. Yes, they won the competition. They win the episode. They win their mission. But I liked it because Mick is winning a little bit here. He's winning the respect of his daughter and the love of her, I guess. And because she actually says that, best father-daughter weekend ever. And what I really like, though, is how uncomfortably he puts his arm around her.
Yes.
He just doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't.
But it's sweet and it's a cherishable moment. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. It was a good scene. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
All right, there you go. That is the quotes for this week. Let's move into feedback.
Feedback.
Holy Twin Powers, activate!
All right. First up is Daryl Washington, and I'll apologize to Daryl publicly. Me and him we kind of went back and forth a little bit on Facebook. He was going on about something about the Legend show, and I said, we got such garbage happening. And he's like, we don't have garbage. And I said, well, okay, that's just my opinion. Let me rephrase it. And, everyone's allowed to feel what they feel. I'm just not happy with what our show is doing right now, but he's really enjoying it, and that's good. And I hope, his feedback continues to come in, because he'll spin some positive points on it that I just can't seem to do right now.
That's true. Yeah.
So how about you take it away, Harley? Because I am still struggling here, so I'll let you read the 2 emails we got this week.
Sure. Okay, so Daryl says, a fantastic episode, but I need Astra to be a team player. She brought so much negative energy. I'm glad that by the end she was less prickly. I didn't know Nate could steal up specific body parts.
Yeah.
Did anyone else find it convenient the new pledges just somehow already knew they had to get a different house before Sarah said anything? That's funny. MVP for the episode has to go to Sarah for her guns and her brains. Who else would have come up with the idea that they all drink from the chalice? Yeah. MVP goes to Zari for the creating their own sorority idea. Yeah, that's true. Lachesis has a lot of nerve calling Astra a traitor after stealing her soul coins. I hope we learn next week what Lita and Mick did.
Yeah, that's something else we could add to it. What did they go do?
True.
But probably won't see that. I'm assuming we'll see what they're going to do with their newfound immortality.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I mean, he opens up exactly with why I didn't like Astra. Like, I liked her even less this episode, because she's so not a team player. She was nothing but negative. And I think Zari phrased it perfectly. What did Zari say? She's like, oh, she's so exhausting to be around, or something like that.
She can be exhausting, which is funny, because a lot of people think Zari can be exhausting. But yeah, no, I mean, I think she's struggling. She's trying to figure out how to relate and connect and fit in, because she just doesn't. She's kind of a fish out of water. So I kind of feel for her.
You can have all the feels you want.
Fine. I will.
All right. Next up is Carrie Johnson. What's he have to say?
I'm not sure what many people thought of this episode, but I was a bit underwhelmed, at least initially. Yes, too.
Thank you, Gary.
One thing I can say that I really liked about the episode is that instead of focusing on frat bros, as I feared, they focused on women. That's true. And rather than focus on cliches of superficiality and cattiness, which to their credit, they did only enough to demonstrate that it exists, the episode focused on things that are real, such as loneliness, pressures that women face to conform and fit in, and the power of being true to yourself. Hear, hear. And being accepted for that. Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie always pulling out the good stuff. See, there's the silver lining, and he always seems to find it.
Amazingly insightful. Anyways, strangely enough, I wasn't as interested in how Charlie and Astra bonded as I was interested in how Charlie and Astra's ability to bond and the Legend's ability to bond impacted the 3 ladies who joined their sorority. Yes, I agree. Like I said, I really enjoyed Sylvia and Astra. I really did. I liked their connection. I thought it was poignant, and I thought it helped Astra and Sylvia. Anyways, That was just me. Back to Carrie. While watching the ep, I found myself wondering, what the hell are those 3 sisters going to do when the Legends leave? It was really cool to see that they found what they needed from the Legends and would continue the sorority. True. In the grand scheme of villains and battles facing the Legends, building that sorority might seem like a small thing, but I disagree. Inspiring a new generation of women is pretty damn powerful. Thank you.
Yeah, good point, Carrie. Good point.
As always. Stray observation. If you've seen the movie Neighbors, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, I meant to bring this up and I forgot. Then, like me, you pretty much assumed that the casting call for the Dion character basically said a Zac Efron type.
Yes.
Yes, I meant to say that this whole episode felt like Neighbors meets Old School to me. Anyways. Sarah is a pretty damn good beer pong player. I'm guessing that's a talent she picked up from frat bro Oliver Queen, not the League of Assassins. Ouch.
Possibly, yeah.
Nate fanboying over Dion was strangely creepy, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what to make of all the legends, save for Zari drinking from the chalice and becoming gods for a day. Is that a good thing or nah? Oh.
We may find out.
We're about to find out. I wish we had actually seen Mick and Lita pissing off some rich kids rather than imagining it off screen.
Yes, that's two of you that have brought that up now. That would be actually really funny to see what they got up to together. Yep.
I know. It was an interesting choice having Astra bond with Charlie. Most often, when a show brings a new character onto the team, they often pair them with or put them in conflict with a fan favorite. It's sort of why on Arrow, they would team characters with Felicity because they knew good vibes would rub off. In this case, though, pairing Astra with Charlie, who is far from a fan favorite, was dubious. It would have made more sense to pair her with Zari, a fan favorite. But is this version a fan favorite? That was me. Especially considering the connection they were beginning to make in the last episode.
That's actually a very astute observation, though, because we have talked about that. I know over on Arrow Squad, we talked about that, why a lot of characters are playing off of Felicity, and it allows, if Felicity likes them, then everyone will like them because we all love Felicity and we're just going to trust her, even though she's a character in the TV show. That's just how it worked. That was the strange mentality of it all. So that you bring that into play here, and it makes a lot of sense. Charlie is not a fan favorite. That's why she's not a major part of the show all the time. There's not a lot of talk about her that I see anywhere on social media. All the talk is about Constantine and Sarah and, Ray Palmer at the time. So it's and Ava, actually. Ava gets a lot, but Charlie, I never see mentioned hardly at all ever. So why would you bring in a character that is not easy to like and pair her off with someone that is still very difficult to accept that she's part of our team? And that's not helping Astra's story at all.
No, but they both have similar backgrounds. I mean, they both were very much on their own. They both were trying to break free from their own prisons. And they're both... They just don't really fit in, and they're having to fight tooth and nail to get to where they've gotten today. And now that they're on the Legends, things are changing a little bit. And she very rightfully just doesn't know how to fit in. She doesn't know how to connect. And I think she's trying, but she states, she's like, this is all I know. This is all that I know to do. And it's how she was raised. She just doesn't know any better, and she's just trying to learn a new world. And because of the way she was raised and who she is and where she's from, she's automatically not trusted, which doesn't help. So I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I liked her character this episode. I did.
Okay.
So I'll defend it. Anyways. All right, going back to his email. When the entire team drank from the chalice, my COVID-19 sensibilities went into overload. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to lie. Anytime anybody is within 2 feet of anybody, I kind of just go into overload. So I don't know. I'm having a hard time just with TV right now in general, but I know that it was filmed so far before all of this.
This was all filmed back in November, so October or whatever. So yeah.
I know, but I do understand you're cringing because a lot of things on TV these days make me cringe.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay. Overall, we got more wheel spinning. Still, any show making a real attempt to focus on women's relationships is good in my book. I give this episode 7 drinks from the chalice out of 10. Also, next week, frickin' zombies. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll stop on that point just for a second because we watched the trailer for that episode. It was actually included on the way I watched TV this time, and we saw that, and poor Patty Spivot ducked under her blanket, and she's going, "Nope. I how am I going to watch next week? She hates zombies. It's her most hated thing, and they freak her out. So this is going to be a very interesting Legends next week. I may be watching it alone.
Yeah, it's called I Am Legends. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but...
Well, that's a play off of the Will Smith zombie movie.
It's a play off at least the title.
The title, I Am Legend, yeah.
I hated that movie. I hated it.
It was okay, but yeah.
Hated it. So I'm hoping more for Zombieland and less for I Am Legend. Let's just say that.
And it could be, knowing our show, they've been putting a zany spin on everything so far, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's not done. He has one more stray observation. Hudson University is where Stein worked on the Firestorm project, right? It's strange that they would not mention this. At least I don't recall them mentioning it. They definitely did not.
They did not, and I did not make that connection. Wow.
Neither did
Good
I.
memory.
Also, in DC Comics, it's where Dick Grayson went to school. I will go back and rewatch the episode, but I don't recall any Robin Easter eggs. I don't think there were.
No,
Maybe that was the only one.
Yeah, either do I. Yeah, and did Dick Grayson even finish
I have no idea.
school? Because he was in the circus with his family, and then Batman took him from there, so he may not even finish school.
Or was this after that?
I don't know. Cool. Well, awesome email as always, you guys. That was fantastic, Carrie. Way to bring up the positive, guys. You guys make up for me. I'll apologize now if you guys even finish the episode. Maybe you guys get too pissed off with me when I'm not keen on one, and you're like, I can't even listen to this garbage. Who writes this crap anyway? So if you got through this far, just thank you, and I apologize. Hey, if I just can't get with it, can't get with the program on this stuff, but I'm glad you guys enjoy it and have good stuff to say. We still got 2 voicemails. We got one in from our new friend all the way down under Tails. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hey Flash and Harley, fun episode this week. I really enjoyed Mick trying to be a supportive father to Lita, and that the day was saved in true Legends fashion by a game of beer pong. I was recently watching the mid-season trailer and had a terrifying thought that with the Fates wanting to fix everyone's timeline, does that mean they'll get rid of Ava? Anyway, hope you're feeling better, Flash.
I certainly hope not.
Oh, okay. Fixing the fates of everyone so they would get rid of Ava because she's out of her time, like Bayrod was.
Mm-hmm.
Ava's been brought back from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Could you... God, would they do that? She is a favorite character right now.
I hope not.
Oh, man.
I sure
and
hope
well,
not.
or maybe this is her saving grace. She's a clone. She was created. She was not created by the Loom of Fate. She was not given a fate line like everyone else because she's not actually a mortal human being.
That's true.
So that might be the loophole in that idea.
It could be. Yeah, I hope so. I hope they don't get rid of Ava. I like her.
Yeah.
I like that actress.
Yeah. But Tails, personally, I just want to say thank you. I'm not 100%. I've been muting myself all night here. Sometimes maybe unsuccessfully. I'll have to wait till I edit it. But not quite out of the
most of them.
Yeah, not quite out of the woods yet. But thank you. Thanks for your kindness. Next up is voicemail from Patty Spivot.
Hey, Flash and Harley, it's Patty Spivot calling in. So this kind of was an odd episode. I'm pretty sure Flash hated it, but we haven't really talked about it. And I found it kind of entertaining. It was kind of, college, crazy, silly, whatever. But the 2 story parts that I actually liked the best were, I said it last week too, but I really like when we get to see Nate being the historian guy. And we got to see him doing that while they were at the very beginning, paging through Constantine's books and trying to find a solution for their problem. And then Nate came up with the plan, well, sort of the plan. And I just, that's my favorite personality part of Nate. And I wish they would bring that part of his character out more because I think it brings a lot to the stories. I also really liked the Mick and Lita storyline where they were going through the college and touring, and Mick was super self-conscious, and then they turned out having a really nice moment, and I like that part a lot too. So I kind of, it's growing on me that Mick's got a daughter and that they're bringing her in a lot. So I really don't have a whole lot to say about the rest. There wasn't a ton of content otherwise, except for some silliness and good time fun and college shenanigans and all of that. So hopefully you guys had more to say, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Hopefully we have more to say. Not much.
Not much. Good thing. Like, she would have just totally thrown me under the bus if I had been going on and on about how much I love this episode and trying to fake my way through positivity tonight, and she comes on and says, I'm pretty sure Flash hated it, but, you know.
I have an initial, we weren't even 5 minutes in, and I turned to my husband and I go, he's going to hate this. To be fair, Eric didn't like it either, so don't worry.
You guys know me too well already. Yeah, no, but that's fun. And again, she's bringing out the mixed storyline, which I think is surprising a lot of people that it's working so well. Because initially, if you went back to the beginning when we first got introduced to Mick, to Rory Heatwave, and then they said 5 years from now we're going to introduce a storyline where he's a dad and he's struggling to be a father, we would have all scoffed at that idea.
Oh yeah,
no way.
But now it makes total sense.
Yeah, so it's working. That's good. Good on the actor, good on the writers for that stuff. So there is some positive light to pull out of this for sure, along with the comments from our feedbackers, and especially with what Carrie said about showing, you know, that what women have to go through and things like that. It's definitely some good points for sure.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Thank you as always for all that feedback, for bringing up the positivity. You definitely guys are the highlight for us every week. So thank you for that. If you'd like to join the show and do what these guys did, this is what you got to do.
If you would like to be a part of the show, you can send in your feedback to tomorrowslegends@gmail.com. That's spelled with one R. You can also reach us on Twitter at tomorrowslegends, also with one R. We'd love you to join our Facebook page at facebook.com/groups/tomorrowslegends and become part of the community.
And there we go. We got through it. We did. Just a follow-up. The prizes, guys, I do have them. I did go pick them up, so it's just a matter of me packaging them up and sending them off to Jess so she can send them from the States to the States and Australia, because it's like less than half the price for her to ship it than it is for me. It's ridiculous.
That is true.
I mean, just for me to ship the box to her is going to be between $20 to $40, I think. It's unreal, but they are here. I just got to do it. I got to make sure the post office is even open and allowing me to ship stuff off, so that will happen hopefully after this long weekend. It's a long weekend up here in Canada. We're celebrating Victoria Day on Monday, so.
See, we have Memorial Day next Monday.
Right. So, yeah. So next week, zombies. Woohoo! I love zombies, so it'll be fun. We'll see.
I like zombies mostly, so we'll see what they do with it.
I got caught up in the zombie craze, so we'll see what they do with it, and we'll see what they do if our legends are immortal and what happens there. So that's all I got for you guys. Till next week, this is The Flash signing off.
And this is Harley Quinn. I'm out.
Tomorrow's Legends is not affiliated with CBS, Warner Brothers, or the CW. We're a fan-made podcast for entertainment purposes only and are part of the Cybercast Network.
Aww.
No way!
What a bummer.
Sucks, dude!
Ugh, you're the worst.
Oh, man! Come on!
Come on, dude.
No!
Aww.
I'm
out.
That's good enough. Yeah, I can
Okay.
I can add more after if we need to. But
That was quite a lot. I mean, we did pretty good.
Cool. Here we go.